When you dig down on issues, the issues of concern to people and how that affects their voting intentions, it is quite interesting because the economy is the number one issue for men and women, and it outstrips every other issue quite easily. And this is where I think that we will make the biggest impact at the next election. We have a strengthening story to tell on the economy. I don't think we should run scared of Labour's temporary blip in the polls on, in a good sense that is for them, on their cost of living issue. They have made a bit of the political weather on that issue at their conference, but I think over the next 18 months we will see some benefits on cost of living. We have a, in my view, extremely effective Chancellor who is politically very adept, and I think he is going to ensure with some of his policies, and you're seeing, you know, the first home purchase thing being brought forward, these things are going to come through in the next 18 months, and we will have a very strong story to tell on the economy.
A couple of weeks ago I attended an event at Number 10 where we were launching more money, the Prime Minister was launching more money to go towards start-up loans. Up to this point, in terms of start-up loans that have been given out, 43% have been taken up by people from an ethnic minority background. And what that tells me is that actually that is a mainstream policy, but it is helping people from particular communities. And I think that's where we have to keep it. We have to be mainstream, but we also have to talk about values. And I think you will find that you know, there are many things that we are doing which are applauded by people in ethnic minority communities, but we need to be talking about it and talking about it more loudly.
Pursuing one group of voters, as ever, can leave you with problems with another. So if you listened too much to that older demographic, you would have problems with the younger one on some of the social and cultural issues.
When you knock on doors, whether it's someone from the ethnic minority or wherever, what matters to them actually is the state of the economy, their job situation, and yes, I think cost of living, the NHS, schools. Those are the top issues for everyone. It doesn't really matter what your background is. You made your home in this country, that is what matters to you.
Your average elector in the great metropolitans, that's Manchester, Sheffield, Liverpool, and I'm talking about Greater Manchester if you like, essentially never even sees a Conservative. All they hear about the Conservatives is legend, or what the local media says, and the local media is usually dominated by the local politicians, which are usually Labour and sometimes Liberal, and the leaflets that they get. So you've had generations grow up who don't even know what a Conservative looks like, but occasionally sees one on the television, usually speaking from Westminster, and usually speaking with a very strange voice.
And we need to understand that we are communicating through the prism of a blunt instrument called the media. So if a minister thinks it's a good idea to have vans going around areas of high ethnic minority in London, advising people who are illegal immigrants that they can call this number and they can get help to return, etc. That might seem like a good idea, and it might help us achieve our target of removing illegal immigrants. But once it's been through the media, once it's reached an audience who are fundamentally uncertain of their position in our society, it is interpreted in a wholly different way.
I'm sometimes asked what it was like to represent the seat with the largest number of Muslim constituents, as it then was, when I was in Parliament for 10 years. And my answer is, a lot of the work was having cups of tea. It was being there on the ground. It was talking to people and listening to people. It wasn't so much what you said to them, it was being there and listening to them.
In terms of the development of the ethnic vote, as others have mentioned, particularly Alec and so on, when you talk about third, fourth, fifth generation, like every other previous immigration into this country, people are moving up and moving out and moving into those nice places which are traditional Tory areas. And if we do not deal with that soon, the same issue that's affected the inner metropolitans will affect the Tory party in those areas.